on Radio Row here, the site of what is it? This is the Phoenix Convention Center. I'm Darren Smith with you, site of Super Bowl 57, Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. First of all, it is actually good to have some people on my side of the line who believe Kansas City is going to win. Not because we're homers or anything like that. We just believe that they're the better team. With us we have a couple of Missouri State legislators, Representatives Mark Sharp and Mike Johnson. Gentlemen, thank you so very much for your time today. Jumping quickly on this because I do want to get on some topics that relates to sports betting and what's going on in the state house. But give me your predictions on Sunday's game. Mark, we'll start with you and tell me why you feel the Chiefs are going to win.
Well, thanks for asking, Darren, and thanks for having us. I do think the Chiefs will win, not because I'm born and raised in Kansas City. I do think they are the better team.
Smart man.
But I predict a 30 victory for the Kansas City Chiefs. That's my prediction.
That's too close for me. Mike, help me out. Mike, he's sending me to glory right now. What you got?
Well, Darren, thank you for asking. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs, and we're gonna go 31-20. We're gonna go 31-27.
Man, you killing me too now. I get it. It's probably gonna be a close game, but I'm trying to will it into existence. I'm looking at 35-24. And look, my thought process is, and you all of course got the 30-30 as well, is that for me, for Kansas City to win, in my opinion, I think they have to score in the 30s. I think the Eagles are too well balanced, and I think for Kansas City to win, they need to get at least 2 scores up, force them to get out of there, to stop running the football and force them to become a passer. Then you start going back and forth, and I think Kansas City can build up a lead to that point. So that's a great. Now, what is your Super Bowl tailgate meal or your tailgate party? What does that include? And Mr. Johnson, we'll start with you.
All right. Well, I already got it pre-planned, so I'm having Super potato bowls. So that's gonna be your large size baking potatoes with all type of different types of condiments, some seafood, some prime rib, just a mixture, some broccoli, cheese, sour cream, chives, those type of things. So sort of like a potato bar.
Rep Sharp, what you got going on? Uh-oh. Mark, you there? Okay, we see.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, what's your menu for Sunday?
Well, for game day Sundays, it's always the same thing. Gates Barbecue off of State Line. I'm outside, so I can't help but go to Gates off of State Line.
Man,
so
after me, you already know you got my vote. Come on, keep it going. Come on now, keep talking that language.
yeah, I got you. No, every Sunday, a slab of ribs, 2 fries with seasoning on them, and that's how we do it.
Oh,
is that part of the winning process?
Oh man, well, look, hey, first of all, shout out to Gates. They're one of my sponsors.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
So I have to tell you, people know my pregame meal, either pregame or postgame, depending on what time the game starts in Kansas City. I have to go by there. They provide a slab of ribs, fries with the seasoning on it, sweet and mild sauce, and a medium order baked beans. Oh,
there you go.
Got me thinking about it right now. Colin, I need you to put something on the airplane to me, please. Look, question, because sports betting is legal here in Arizona, so I've been doing my thing on my phone. People know me, know I like my parlays. I have to drive. I live right across the street from Soul Park, so I have to drive about 10 minutes west so I can place bets over in Kansas. Are we going to be able? And I do know that I think there were hearings held last night, and maybe some over in the Senate side today. Where are we, or how close are we to getting sportsbook gaming in the state of Missouri, and why has it not taken place yet? I know with it being in, I think, Illinois, obviously Kansas now, we're seeing the money that's being placed. There was a report, I think, from USA Today, ESPN, 50.4 million Americans are betting over $16 billion in this Sunday Super Bowl game, which is twice as much as what took place last year. So I'm going to let one of y'all take this. So that's the question. I apologize.
All right. Well, first of all, I think that the numbers that you just stated show us the increasing amount of states that are picking up on sports gambling. And if it's done correctly, I think that it's very beneficial for the entire state of Missouri. And I know that I do personally, my personal opinion is that it will happen. I couldn't give you a timeline on it, but I think that it's going to be sooner than later with that piece of legislation. I think that there's some things that we need to work out in there as far as the VLTs, the video lottery terminals, and things like that. But as far as the sports betting, I'll just put it like this: I don't think that we are having Bally's come in and build out here in the Kansas City area for nothing.
Your thoughts, Mr. Sharp?
Well, I think it's almost certain that we're going to pass sports wagering this year, legalize sports wagering this year. You kind of hinted at it earlier, Darren, that Missouri is almost entirely surrounded by states that already have sports wagering. So
Yeah.
anybody who's close to the southern, northern, eastern, or western boundaries can simply just go across the state, and we're losing out on that tax revenue. So, obviously, with the big game coming up, I mean, there's going to be billions of dollars placed in sports wagers, nationwide. And right now, unfortunately, and hopefully the Chiefs can get back to the Super Bowl after this passes, but we're going to be losing out on a lot of dollars to Kansas and Illinois specifically this weekend. So it really does hurt the state of Missouri, and it's a shame we couldn't get it done last year.
And
Right.
now,
Especially
I'm
when we
sorry.
have to cross that state line.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah, and
Right.
and that's what I want to follow up on. I know this went into the wee hours, and I think I think that was like the last thing that was on the agenda to try to get past. Why did it? What was the holding block? And like I said, for people who are watching in Missouri, they may just think, why is it so hard to get it done? And I remember you said the video lottery, the VLT, the terminals. What is it? What is it that complicates getting this passed? And could you all do something to where you're mirroring, but essentially mirroring what Illinois or Kansas has passed, so then that way it can get across and get the votes needed. And I know a lot of people saying, well, the Republicans they pretty much control everything. Is it more infighting amongst themselves that they can't get that they can't get it passed, or what do you feel is holding everything up?
You can go ahead, Mark.
I'll, I'll go ahead and jump. Yeah. So for last year, as many folks watching may know, we had to deal with redistricting last year. So we do that every 10 years, where all the maps are redrawn for legislators, and that became very politicized last year. So while we should have been worrying about sports wagering, unfortunately, many state senators in Missouri were too focused on uh, uh, getting the maps that they wanted. So that took up most of the time last year. With that not being a problem or an issue this year, it certainly does seem it's been made one of the first priorities. Obviously, it's included in one of the first rounds of bills that have been sent to
Yeah.
committee. So it's clearly being made a priority, and the speaker has told me and Representative Johnson and other members of the Black Caucus here in Missouri that this is going to be one of his priorities. So I don't think the issue
Yeah.
will lie in the House. I think the issue will typically always be in the Senate. So we'll see what the Senate does, but I think this will be a huge priority this year.
All right, before we let you gentlemen go, and again, I thank you for your time and coming on and speaking with us. What are you all working on right now? What are you trying to get done in the House for your constituents, which would include me, of course?
Well, one of the top priorities from me personally is to deal with uh, situations dealing with mental health. I think that that's something that we all may not want to agree with, but we all have to have be to a certain extent we're dealing with it. And I say that
Yeah,
because we are in a situation that we've never been in before, which is the pandemic and dealing with COVID.
yeah.
I think that everybody has some sense of post-traumatic stress disorder dealing with this because it's been unknown to us. This is something that the entire world has had to go through together.
Yep.
So mental health is always going to be one that's at the top of that list for me.
I talked to a lot of people this week within the NFL and that's been talking about the work that they're doing with mental health. So salute to you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Sharp.
Yeah, Darren. So for me, the last 3-4 years, I've been pushing legislation that's called Blair's Law, that would establish the state offense for discharging your firearm
Yep.
into limits, basically known as celebratory gunfire around the Kansas City metro area. Obviously, Darren, I'm sure you're probably aware of it. Anytime after a big
All
Chiefs
too well.
or New Year's Eve,
Victory. Yeah.
members of the legislature and the mayor and the Kansas City Police Department chief have to go in front of the news cameras and beg folks not to shoot their guns in the air. So this is legislation that looks to tackle that in cooperation with the Kansas City Police Department to try to make sure that we're cracking down on that, and so folks know it's not okay to do.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I want to thank you for your time. And again, your score prediction for Sunday's game, I got Mark Shopsy, the original pay 10. You got 30-27. Mike, you got 31-27. It's still too close to my blood, so I'm not going to have you all put a wager on it. It's just that's me. but look, we're all in agreement. Kansas City was.
I hope everybody stays safe in the game.
Facts.
Most definitely. Everyone.
Gentlemen, thank you so very much for your time. We'll do this again soon. I want to thank Cheryl Dozier for setting this up for us. She is an angel in disguise and who works hard in the background. So I want to make sure we give her flowers. Well, thank you so very much, and I appreciate your time, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back after this timeout.
KC Cocktail Company is proud to announce their first annual nonprofit giveaway. Paige White and KC Cocktail Company believe in giving back to their community, and they are giving away a $500 bar credit to a deserving Kansas City not-for-profit organization. KC Cocktail Company knows that hosting a gala, fundraiser, donor dinner, or golf tournament can be expensive, so they are donating the bar credit to be used to help raise money toward any event that the nonprofit sees fit. What nonprofit do you love supporting? Here's your chance to help them out even more. Check out the nonprofit page on KC Cocktail's website at www.kccocktailco.com and enter in their info, and Paige will enter them into a drawing, as well as contact them on other ways that KC Cocktail can help support them. Feel free to call or email KC Cocktail Company directly for more information at 816-456-4388 or hello@kc